So we've got a little bit of a follow-up on the video that I did not too long ago discussing the potential for there being a bigger Nintendo Direct after the partner showcase that we should be getting this week on Thursday, according to reports from VGC, in addition to Game Explain and Nate the Hate. So let's get into a little bit more about what's happening with the games or what we could see afterwards. There's a number of different spots that Nintendo can go with this from, and after analyzing many past years from Nintendo, there has been follow-ups when it comes to a Nintendo Direct Mini or a partner showcase or something like that, where they follow that up not too long after with a big Nintendo Direct. And now there's been some new rumors from Attack of the Backlog and Nash Weedle discussing what we could see there and the contents like a Monolith soft title in addition to a 3D Mario. So we're going to get into that and a bit more big Nintendo Switch 2 news. But before we do, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 once we hit 150,000 subscribers. So if you're someone new, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, click that notification bell, and drop a comment below on what you'd love to see next on the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, let's jump into this because Attack of the Backlog, he had his podcast where he discussed things with Nash Weedle and another person, and basically he gave a summary of it. It is in Spanish, so it's a different language. He does put summaries up for people that are translated as well, and in the summary, he states that I've been told that after the partner showcase, there's something, but they don't say what it is or when it might be. Nash Weedle follows that up by saying that he's been told about a new Monolith soft title or something Monolith soft and a 3D Mario in a general direct. So people are kind of taking what they said and throwing it into the craziest extremes. I've seen him try to go and say Attack of the Backlog and say, wait a minute, I didn't say that, because people are taking it and posting in other places and saying, oh, there's going to be this massive Nintendo Direct for sure, 100% right after the partner showcase. And that's not what he's saying. He's just stating that he's heard of something afterwards, which makes complete sense. And Monolith soft title, new 3D Mario, those are things that I think a lot of people are expecting or anticipating. Maybe Nash Weedle's actually heard something from there. But yeah, I'm expecting something Monolith soft, whether it's a port or a remaster or it's something or a brand new game. I think that they're definitely long overdue to reveal something for the Nintendo Switch 2, because they're always there at the beginning revealing something. That's just something that they have done since the Nintendo Wii U days, where they showed off Xenoblade Chronicles X, and then with the Nintendo Switch 1, where they showed off Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So they've always been one of those, I would say, developers that have something impressive to show for a new piece of hardware. You can even go back to the new Nintendo 3DS, where Nintendo was like, hey, check out this Xenoblade Chronicles running on the new Nintendo 3DS. Impossible, right? Because Xenoblade Chronicles, that game is crazy. It pushes the Wii to its limits, and the Nintendo 3DS is not as strong as the Wii, or like the new Nintendo 3DS is not as strong as the Wii, but that game was a showcase type of game for that new hardware. So I do think that Monolith Soft is coming with something. Now, what that could be, who knows? Maybe their brand new IP, maybe it's a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Definitive Edition, or updates for all the Xenoblade Chronicles games to run at 1080p 60 frames per second or 4K 60. I just don't know. Whatever they decide to do, I think I'll be cool with that. And if they do both with a new game and updates for all the Xenoblade games on Switch 2, that would be like the perfect best case scenario. So I hope it's that. Now, when it comes to 3D Mario, I've discussed this as well. I firmly believe that there's a new 3D Mario in development. A lot of people talk about how, oh, well, the Mario Odyssey team, they did Donkey Kong, so we might not get something 3D Mario for a while. I don't believe that either. And the reason why is because they brought in a new director that worked at Square Enix before then. He had not been at Nintendo working on Super Mario Odyssey and all that. He just came over, I think, in 2020. So they have a new director. It's a younger development team or staff that's part of that Odyssey team. It's not the whole team. It's not Koizumi. It's not the people and everybody who made Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch 1. So I firmly believe that they've been working on something for the last number of years to be revealed, and it's going to blow people's minds. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I've talked about how it could be potentially a Super Mario universe. So not necessarily a Galaxy 3, but a universe open sandbox type of game in space. So I think that could be kind of cool. Or they go with a completely brand new concept 3D Mario game like Odyssey was. So we just don't know what they're going to do, but I still feel that we can see a general Nintendo Direct afterwards. I don't know how far it would be. Would it be in the summer, June, like their typical spot? Would they put it earlier? I just don't know. Nintendo has a lot of games that they already have revealed for this year that's set for 2026, and I think they still have a few more big hitters that they're going to be showing off. And we also have to factor in that there's Pokemon Day. Pokemon Day's probably going to be big, especially if the new Gen 10 Pokemon game is going to be revealed at the end of February 27th at 6 a.m. That seems to be the leaked Pokemon Masters date for the Pokemon Presents that should go on that day, which we already know that it was going to be February 27th, but 6 a.m. seems to be the time. So there's also that. That's going to be huge for 2026 if that new Gen 10 Pokemon is ready to go by the end of the year, which it should be. So what do you guys think about all this? A lot of information, a lot of different stuff happening down at this point. What would you guys like to see? What do you guys feel is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. We've got the initial reviews for this game that have went down, and it's reviewing pretty good. It's got overall an 81 score. Now there's multiple different systems that people are reviewing it on. We've got 14 reviews for the Nintendo Switch 2 at an 81 score. On the PlayStation 5, that's where most of the reviews are coming from so far. It's got 36 reviews for an 81, and there's only about 6 PC reviews for an 81. There's only 2 reviews for the Xbox Series X, so that's a TBD on that ranking, and then there's no reviews for the Nintendo Switch 1 version. So if you're planning on getting the Switch 1 version, you might want to hold out until people actually get a chance to review it and let you know the quality of that, because for all the other versions, you're getting 60 FPS, you're getting much better visual clarity and all of that, and with the Nintendo Switch 1, you're getting 30 FPS, and you're probably not getting the resolution anywhere near as good. The loading times, there's certain things that are definitely not going to be as good, so just keep that in mind. Now, there is a demo on all platforms, so if you want to go check out the demo, that demo information or that demo data does transfer over to the main game, so you're going to be able to play it, check it out, see how you feel about the game, mechanics, systems, and then if you like it, you can buy the game and then you can transfer it over. There's also an early access for people who buy the digital deluxe edition. So if you want to get a couple days early access, the game comes out on February 5th, I think. So yeah, it comes out on Thursday. So if you want to get a couple days, you can pick it up on Tuesday. You can do that as well. I put a lot of time into the demo. I think I put about 15 hours or so into the demo. I maxed out everything that I could. I really enjoy the game. Based on what I played on the demo, I played it on the Switch 2. It ran good, it looked good, and this is one of the major reasons why I said, man, Switch 2, it's going to be great if they can get it up to a certain level. It does not need to be the most powerful beast of a system, because then price becomes a problem. There's a lot of different things with that. You just have to have it to where it's good enough to work and play some of these AA games in better quality than what we got with the Switch 1, because the 30 FPS for AA type of games was killing me on that system. So the fact that you're able to take this system anywhere that you want and play a turn-based RPG in that 60 FPS with these AA type of games like Trails in the Sky, and now we also have a game like this, is very good. They needed to make sure that they had a system that can handle a lot of the majority of the games, some of the smaller stuff, the AA stuff, the remake stuff, and those run in good performance. And that's what we got here with the Switch 2, and we're seeing it with Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. And right now you have a little bit of a back and forth at the top of the sales charts for Dragon Quest VII Reimagined and Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrated. Both of them very impressive ports on the Nintendo Switch 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate actually dipped a bit below Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, then was able to kind of regain it, and that's pretty impressive because the eShop does go by overall revenue now more so than just raw numbers sold, and that digital deluxe edition is more expensive, so a lot of people are picking up Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, and a lot of people are also picking up Dragon Quest VII Reimagined before the launch of it. Square Enix has to be happy about this, as their games are topping the sales charts and people are generally happy with what their output is. But it's going to be very key for Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, of course, for the word of mouth. That is going to be important to see how players think about the game once it does launch, and I think that can even propel it to be a mainstay or up at the top of the sales charts for a good amount of time. I love what I played played so far, but it's great on PlayStation 5. It looks great, it's smooth, it's got a great art style. To me, this is one of the better Dragon Quest games out there based on my gameplay from the demo. Usually I don't max out demos. I did not do that with Dragon Quest 11. I do not do that with a lot of games, but this one I maxed out on the demo. I was playing it so much, so I do think that it's a great game, and so far the review scores are great for it with an 81 plus. So there will be more reviews coming in, and it could go up or it could go down based off of those, but this definitely seems like it's a game that's going to sit right around in the low 80s just based on the reviews that are coming in. I don't expect it to go too much higher or too much lower. 8 out of 10 seems about right of where it's going to sit based off of what I've been seeing so far in the reviews that are coming in. So yeah, it's a great game. Looking forward to playing more when it officially launches this week. So what do you guys think about Dragon Quest VII Reimagined? You can let me know in the comment section below. But now we are going to move over to the next topic, and that is BlazBlue Entrtopy Effect X. That has been rated for the Nintendo Switch 2. So this is a game that I kind of had my eyes on when I saw it, because it's based off of a franchise that actually got me into competitive fighting games, watching competitive fighting games and dabbling in it just a bit, because a friend of mine in college, he was really into competitive fighting games. He was really into Evo. He's went multiple times and all of that. And when BlazBlue, the original game, came out on the PlayStation 3, I would watch him play all the time. And he would just body people with Noel Vermillion. And that's why I sometimes still use the Noel music in my videos here. Some of you guys might catch that I use it every now and then. That's to him, because he actually got me into watching and into following competitive fighting games. But this game is not a competitive fighting game. It's a single player rogue style action RPG type of game instead. So it's a little bit different from the original BlazBlue, and which we already knew the game was coming to the Nintendo Switch 1, but now it seems like there's going to be a native Nintendo Switch 2 version or a much enhanced Nintendo Switch 1 version that can run on the Nintendo Switch 2. So let's check out this here with this rating. It says that BlazBlue Entrtopy Effect X is rated T for teen by the ESRB with blood, fantasy, violence, and suggestive themes. This is an action-adventure game in which players help a group of scientists obtain a mysterious element by dividing into different realities. Players traverse 2D side-scrolling levels to battle enemy ninjas, armored soldiers, and large enemy creatures. Players use swords, guns, spears, and lasers to kill enemies in fast-paced melee-style combat. Battles are highlighted by sword slashing effects, large explosions, and splashes of red blood. Some sequences depict female characters with deep cleavage and jiggling breasts. So there you go. It lets you know everything that you need to know. Even the last part there, everything there you need to know. But yes, now if there is a native Nintendo Switch 2 version to where you can get maybe 4K, 60, or maybe even 120 FPS, that would be nice. Games that are 2D with slick combat has always been something that I'm interested in. I think that, like Hollow Knight, for example, that was great. Silk Song was fantastic. I've actually played the update for Donkey Kong Country Returns. It keeps on returning, but nicer than ever, and that is really nice with Donkey Kong. So I'm a big fan of slick 2D animation, slick 2D combat or platforming, and I think that it all just kind of gels and works so well with the Nintendo Switch 2 to where you can take it anywhere that you want. This game is a roguelite action game, so you're going to be playing it over and over. So I think that a native Switch 2 version would be much appreciated considering the type of game that it is. Now, I'm not huge on rogue games. That's the thing that I hate. I mean, I love the combat and action in rogue games, but I hate the concept of that being the full game. It's just something that I've never loved, but I'll always play rogue games just because the combat is so fun. I want to see if this will be the one. And I know for me, it was like Hades. That game, I was like, what, rogue game? But I played and beat that game, and I was like, okay, it's a rogue game, but it's still really good. So it's one of those things to where I'll try them out. They're not my favorite just because of the structure and the style, but I'll still try them out to see if it's going to be something that I will like to play and it'll be fun and all of that. So I'll try out this game. BlazBlue is awesome. It's always been a great franchise. It's been a staple in the industry now for going on about 20 years. I think it's coming up here on its 20-year anniversary. And I'm always down for more slick 2D action games to come out on the Nintendo Switch Switch 2. I think we need more of these AA style of games, especially from these developers. Arc System Works, they're trying to branch out and do more than just their fighting games, so I'm all for it because I just think it looks pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Ragnar the Blood Edge and Noel Vermillion and all of them can do in this game. So what do you guys think when it comes to BlazBlue, Entrtopy Effect X, and all the different stuff that we talked about here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this one here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.